Hello all you YouTube subscribers, friends, Romans, countrymen. I would like to wish you all a happy new year. As far as I know, this will be my first new year video, hopefully, I think, if I've got all my chickens in a row. And to celebrate this wonderful new year, the beginning of a new year and the end of an old, I recently had a guy ask me about some YouTube ending tag licks. And I couldn't tell him where they were. I knew I'd done them before, but I haven't done one dedicated to that. So I thought, well, that'd be a good idea, just go ahead and do that. So that's what I'm going to work on today, is some ending licks like you just heard me play. Just like that. And so I'm going to get right into the lessons here. There's a few of them. These are more experienced, advanced things. So we'll do the best we can on them. I'm just going to do, for starters, do some that that are pretty much recognizable for the most part. And the first one is a variation of what I just did. It's the classic, ending Tony Rice lick. I don't know who first come up with it, but he's one of them that does it a lot. And that is also a beginning lick. You can use that for a beginning of a song. You can use it for an ending of a song as a tag. If you use it as the beginning of a song, it would sound something like this. And to end the song, okay, so like I said, I know I've done this before, but not as a dedicated video just to this type of thing. So here's how you do that. You're going to start with the high E, and you're going to just either, your choice, you can either slide it or you could pick it and hammer it on. So second, third fret. Kind of dies out when you slide it, so hammer on might sound better. Go ahead and zoom in just a hair on that. I'm thinking about it, now that I have the capabilities to do that. So it's second fret, third fret, E string, open E, B string, third fret. Okay, and that's going to be a pull off. After you pull that off, you're going to hit the high E again. And then you'll have to figure out your own picking style along the way. I know it's different for everybody, but I'll try to break down the picking as we go as well. First, let's get the frets down though. Then you're going to pull off again. So far we've got open, 2, 3, open, B, third fret, pull off, open E, another pull off, same thing. And then this time we're going to take the G string, third fret, slide it down to the second fret, open. Okay. You can use your ring finger or your third finger for that, either one. Let's see. And then you're going to pull off the second fret of the D string. Open G again, and then it's kind of the same thing we did with the B. We did a pull off twice. We're going to do a pull off twice there after we hit the other lick. So it's kind of like repeating that same pattern. So after the second pull off, we're going to do an immediate pull off on the first fret of the A string, and then hit that G on the third fret of the E string. Immediate pull off down to the G, and then just after that you're just going to do a G lick. Now to get the most force out of this, you have to know when to hammer on and when to pull off and when to pick, instead of, you know, pulling off and not having any sound. Now I could just for the first time that comes into play is on the G string here, because the rest of the times you have to pick it and then pull it off. And this time I could just completely pull off twice or slide down, but it's not going to have that same effect. The first slide's okay, and then I usually pick the open G. And then the rest of it is, I think, pretty much picked. That's the only spot that I actually hit the open G instead of pulling off the G at the second fret. Now for the picking, we'll go down first and then the G run. I've done that many times. I had some G run licks a while back. You can do a search on that on my channel or whatever. And the picking here, it's a down up, coordinating with this. Now what I have you suggest that you do is that you kind of pay attention to this hand and then my right hand. Or actually pay attention to my right hand first, because I'm doing picking, and then pay attention to this hand to see where that's coming in. So where they got a down up, then another up, and then a down, then an up on the E. Okay? Then another down, up, down, then another down. So we got two downs in a row on the B string after the second pull off. Down, pull off, and then a down slide, then an open G up. The reason that is to give us the same, remember how we said that this sounds the same? Got two pull offs there, like we did on the V. We want to pick it the same way. If we're picking a downstroke on this pull off, then we want to be able to pick the downstroke on this pull off. If we did the downstroke on the G, we kind of throw our rhythm off, having to do another downstroke, 3 in a row basically. That would just totally mess us up. So we're going to pull that, slide that off, then an upstroke. Again, watch my right hand and then my left. So we got 3 downs in a row there to help with timing. Let's see, we'll just start from here. Now some people go with that upstroke there on the G, but I do the downstroke. And then up, the down on the first fret, hammering on the second fret of the A string. Open D, pull off, downstroke. Let's see, down, down, up, down, down. So up on the open D, down on the pull off, second fret, open G. So once again, I'll do this very slow so you can watch either the picking hand or the right hand, or the left hand, whatever you want to do. Okay, so there's that one. The variation on that, the one that I did the very first of this, it's a little quicker on the very last part here. It's a little quicker of a move. It sounds like this. And you have to do it quicker to stay in time. Let's see. Upstroke on the open G. Instead of a downstroke on this G like we did the last time, we're wanting it to be an upstroke so the last note can be attacked with a downstroke. That's the slide from the 2nd fret to the 5th fret, and you can also do it to the 3rd fret to the 5th fret, and that makes it sound more bluesy. Okay. So let's see, that comes at the end. That much you know already. So instead of, it's going to be a really quick pull off. 1st fret, pull off, and 3rd fret, the open E string. So then we have 2 downstrokes, an up down. Then I've got 2 upstrokes, just the way I pick it. I guess you could do another downstroke there, but that throws my rhythm off. So there you have it. One more time. Now the last one is a little different. I'm going to do this one, then I'm going to do another one because I can tell it's probably already past 10 minutes. So this one is a Clarence White ending lick that Tony Rice used on his master class, I think, on the DVD, the Tony Rice master class he had. And it's kind of a finger twister for me. At the start of Monroe's Hornpipe. So that begins the song, and once again it's kind of ambiguous. It can begin or end a song. And the way that is so we're doing instead of open, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 3rd, open. And instead of pulling off like we did on the last lick, it's going to come back down to this. Now, before I go any further, I was going to mention this. A lot of this stuff deals with what I call backtracking. And if you're just now joining me and you haven't seen my backtracking video, go back and watch it. Do a search for backtracking on my YouTube channel because it talks about how a lot of times we pick, and it has to do with direction shifting with your picking and knowing when to upstroke, when to downstroke. A lot of times, so that's backtracking to another string you were just on from. It's basically going this direction when you were going this direction. It's kind of skipping back, and then continuing forward, then back 1, continuing forward, then back 1, continuing forward. That's what we did on this last lick. That open E string there was a backtrack. That open G was a backtrack. And I kind of define that in the backtracking video. So go ahead and watch that after you get done with this one, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. But to continue on with this one, we're going back to this string after hitting that B string on the 3rd fret. We're going to go immediately back, and it's going to be an upstroke to the 2nd fret of the E string, and then we're going to go back to that. Okay, we're going to go that far. Back down on the G string 2nd fret after the open, and this is kind of a toughie. You're going to skip the B string, hit that open E when you get back on the G. Open E, come back down to the G where you're kind of holding this out. Now that's an important thing about licks too, is the sustain. That's still ringing as I'm hitting that open E string. And so then we walk it down chromatically, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, open. Okay? Second fret, open G, then open D, 2nd, 4th, going back to the G, open G, 2nd fret, G, open G. Oops. Faster is a little different, but you get the gist of it. So there's one thing I noticed I was going to mention. Oh, I think it's all, since you're picking everything, it's completely down up the whole time. Let's see if it is. Starting with a downstroke, you're going to end with an upstroke. That's all there is. Every note is the opposite of what you did the last note. Rather than pointing out which string I pick up or down, if you follow that pattern all the way through, you'll get it. Well, that's tough to do fast. And that's why you can practice. If I'm having problems with this, I'm wanting to skip that middle one entirely. So what I would do is to practice this, I would repeat that one part over and over again. And I wouldn't do it fast, I would do it slow. Okay, so you got that much of it now. So the first one again was Second one. And the last one, if I can do it. So there you got 3 ending licks. The first 2 is kind of the same. That's good. That way you don't have to learn much of anything new. And the third one was a Clarence White lick that both Tony Rice and I think he said that Dan Carrera used at the beginning of Monroe's hornpipe. So that's it for this lesson. Happy New Year, guys. I'm going to go with the next lesson. I'm going to do some more advanced. If that's not advanced enough for you, we're going to do a couple more advanced ending licks for you, along the line of New Camptown Races and Blackberry Blossom, around that speed. So, and they're going to kind of sound similar to the end of those. So, stay tuned for those next lessons, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you for subscribing. Please tell your friends. Check out my website, www.secretsoftexasbluesguitar.com. There's a totally free newsletter you can subscribe to. It's more on the electric guitar side, and it has to do a lot with lead playing and a lot with becoming a better player. There's a lot of, it's not all about licks and everything like this. A lot of it has to do with different techniques, and I share a lot of those. Even though it's electric guitar, you might want to subscribe anyway because it has a lot of good advice for any guitar player. Okay, so check that out. I won't bore you any more with details, so I'll see you next time for part 2 of these ending tag licks.